We have breaking news right now. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is speaking, expected to address a few issues, including a potential impeachment inquiry into President Biden. Let's listen.
That President Biden did lie to the American people about his own knowledge of his family's foreign business dealings. Eyewitnesses have testified that the president joined on multiple phone calls and had multiple interactions. Dinners resulted in cars and millions of dollars into his sons and his son's business partners. We know that bank records show that nearly $20 million in payments were directed to the Biden family members and associates through various shell companies. The Treasury Department alone has more than 150 transactions involving the Biden family and other business associates that were flagged as suspicious activity by U.S. banks. Even a trusted FBI informant has alleged a bribe to the Biden family. Biden used his official office to coordinate with Hunter Biden's business partners about Hunter's role in Burisma, a Ukrainian energy company. Finally, despite these serious allegations, it appears that the president's family has been offered special treatment by Biden's own administration, treatment that not otherwise would have received if they were not related to the president. These are allegations of abuse of power, obstruction, and corruption, and they warrant further investigation by the House of Representatives. That's why today I am directing our House committee to open a formal impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden. This logical next step will give our committees the full power to gather all the facts and answers for the American public. That's exactly what we want to know, the answers. I believe the president would want to answer these questions and allegations as well. This effort will be led by Chairman James Comer at the Committee on Oversight, in coordination with Chairman Jim Jordan for Judiciary Committee and Chairman Jason Smith on Ways and Means. Now, I do not make this decision lightly. And regardless of your party or who you voted for, these facts should concern all Americans. The American people deserve to know that the public offices are not for sale, and that the federal government is not being used to cover up the actions of a politically associated family. Now, I would encourage the president and his team to fully cooperate with this investigation in the interests of transparency. We are committed to getting the answers for the American public. Nothing more, nothing less. We will go wherever the evidence takes us. Thank you very much.
That was House Speaker Kevin McCarthy endorsing an impeachment inquiry into President Biden over his son Hunter Biden's business dealings. This move comes as McCarthy faces demands from some Republicans that could threaten his speakership. I want to go to Jay O'Brien on Capitol Hill, along with ABC News contributing political correspondent Rachel Bade for more. Jay, we heard McCarthy there laying out some accusations against President Biden, including being on phone calls with some of Hunter Biden's business associates, suspicious transactions flagged by banks. He's alleging special treatment by the Biden administration for the family. What do we know about these allegations so far and the degree to which they've already been investigated?
And forgive me for looking behind me here, Diane, but there's a possibility that Speaker McCarthy walks by and we get to ask him a few more questions. And the reality is, you saw at the end of those remarks, he did not take questions. And so there are a lot of big, hairy questions still left in all of this. The accusation that Speaker McCarthy leveled at President Biden is a similar accusation we've heard from House Republicans for months now, since they took control of the House and really launched these investigations in several different committees into the president and into his son's business dealings. To sum up the Speaker's argument, he accused the president of abuse of power, obstruction, and corruption as it relates to his son's overseas overseas business dealings. Worth pointing out, none of these committees have put forward any hard evidence that links President Biden to his son's overseas business dealings. They have instead put forward different kinds of evidence and called forward witnesses and former associates of Hunter Biden's and things of that nature. Now, what you heard Speaker McCarthy just say is that he's directing 3 House committees to begin an impeachment inquiry on those grounds into the president. Those committees are House Oversight, House Judiciary, and House Ways and Means. Here's the thing. Those committees have already been engaged in investigations into President Biden and into Hunter Biden. So I reference those questions that we have for Speaker McCarthy. They are really twofold. One, what has changed today that was not like it was yesterday in those investigations? That's first and foremost. And secondly, is the Speaker going to call an impeachment inquiry into a vote on the floor? It was kind of clear from his remarks that he has no plans in doing that. He didn't reference a vote, and certainly he doesn't have the votes right now with the moderates in his party to win a vote if he were to call an impeachment inquiry onto the floor. But those are the questions we have. What new powers do Republicans think they have today that they didn't have yesterday? And are they going to really call this to a vote on the floor and put this question on the record?
Rachel, if he doesn't have the votes, and this is a bit of a risky political move, why do this?
Well, of course, he's trying to protect his gavel. There's a lot of conservatives out there who've heard from members of the base back home who want an impeachment inquiry and are saying if he doesn't do it, they're going to try to take his gavel and boot him from the speakership. But I want to go back to something that Jay was just talking about, this question about whether or not House Republicans would have a vote on this, or is he just announcing it and beginning the inquiry without an actual roll call by lawmakers? It might seem like some sort of wonky procedural question, but it's actually quite interesting because when Democrats impeached Donald Trump, McCarthy's #1 attack against that impeachment was process. He criticized them mercilessly for not having a full House vote to impeach President Trump at the time, saying that this wasn't a real impeachment until they did, that they weren't following the Constitution. And it wasn't just McCarthy, it was all his deputies, his current chief of staff, who was then his top counsel in the House Republican Conference. And now they're going in and actually taking a page from Pelosi's playbook and doing the exact same thing because they don't have the votes to actually have that impeachment vote right now.
All right, Rachel Bade, Jay O'Brien, thank you both.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.